Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Here we are. We had our staff stand up yesterday and we were talking about the calendar and it being August and what's next week's team meeting is actually staff's meeting and then it's mega camp and then it's September. So I don't know what's happening, but let's just keep moving forward and living our best lives here. So thanks for being here today, you guys. Thanks for the flexibility with going to full Zoom. I won't get into all the details of why that was helpful for me today, but it was. And so without further ado, let's start our welcomes. We have a super awesome special guest today, and I want to give him all his time that he has. So we are welcoming a few new agents this week. First of all, I'm going slow if there's slides. Evie, are there slides?
Yes, there
Okay.
is. There we go.
Speed.
Do you see it?
So, yes, I see them now. Giovanna Dick joined us. You might have seen her if you were in person. She was in person in the training room at our last in-person meeting, and she is a new agent joining us. So welcome, Giovanna. Ashley Jancic has joined us this week as well. Welcome, Ashley. Caitlin Roy, her license just came through, so she's super excited. She had been part of our sneak peek program, so she's been around for a little bit, but now she's officially ready to go and work. And last but certainly not least, we have Michael Hudon, who is joining us technically in the signature office, but here as part of our giant blended family.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hey, Michael, there you are. And he's ready
There I
to say
am.
hi. Welcome. I love
Thank
when
you.
people are actually on today. So we have those awesome humans that we're welcoming this week. And we just had the whole meeting last week. So I don't want to drill too much time into it because we have a full calendar. But does anyone have a market of the moment conversation they want to bring to the table with a listing or an open house or a sale or anything that just feels different that you feel like everyone here should hear about? No?
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Judy.
Well, I'm excited. I suddenly I got 4 appointments this week.
Nice.
So I was like, suddenly so they're coming out of the woodwork. They want to look at something. They want to buy something. They want to meet with me. It's awesome. So I'm grateful.
Okay, good. So your shift in the market right now is that you have 4 buyers who came out and now are saying like, yes, I'm ready to go look at something.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The mastermind we held last week and then the meeting we held right after that, we talked about the moment we were in is in the freeze time following the interest rate movement. And as we're now in the middle of August, it's just becoming more normal. And people have had more time to look at what's happening and compare and contrast and see that the sky isn't falling. And, you know, if you're being the agent expert for them and the local economist of choice, and they're hearing your information and keeping that communication going will get them out to go fulfill their needs and get shopping. So great work staying in touch and getting them out. Good luck with your 4 appointments. Can't wait to hear how they go. All right. Why 4C2T's culture moment? We haven't been doing the bucket fills that much as of late because we've had such a long market conversation. But I would love to hear from anybody. Does anybody have a bucket to fill?
I do.
Go, Peggy.
I got a couple of buckets, so it's going to be like an overflow one to another.
Love it.
I had a seller who was berating me and he hung up the phone on me 2 times, not just once, 2 times. Because the first time I just gave him a little grace, like, oh, did we have a disconnect here? As you were screaming. And so I called a bunch of agents and I got to talk to Vinny, Claudine, Carl, Matt, and Jay, and all of them were so freaking generous with their time. They let me just like be in my, like, I don't know what to do, you know, like that for a while. And they helped like kind of like build me back up together. And now I'm working with my clients and like, I thought I was like, either going to dump that listing, like right now, like, here's your cancellation. Or I'm going to like, you know, give it to another agent or something, but it's like, I did nothing. And I just kind of followed the directions that they were kind of sharing with me. And then it's like everything's cool. So thank you. Thank you.
And that was like 5 buckets you just filled. That's awesome. And you did nothing. That was your action, was freezing, pausing. I've taught myself to be quiet sometimes too. I know that's hard to believe, but I'm doing it. And then getting into growth based on conversations with others around you. You guys hear her loud and clear. That is one of the most valuable things we have to offer as a group here. Is there's so many talented, gorgeously, fantastically talented humans here that will share their knowledge. It's not just here, it's nationally. But in our office, we have stand-up agents who are happy to pour into you and answer questions when you have them. So if you have them, you're dealing with a now moment, ask the questions. That's how you grow and get stronger. I had another agent reach out to me today and say, hey, I'm planning for Mega Camp and I want to be intentional with my time. So who can I talk to? How can I strategize and build a network around the country to grow a mastermind with what I'm looking to do in my business? Awesome. I will be helping them get that together. So if you're thinking outside the box, or if you're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, raise your hand, ask the questions, and let's all grow together through that. Thank you, Peggy. And thank you to those 5 awesome agents who helped you navigate that, and way to go keeping it together.
Also the OP, Ashley.
Oh, Ashley, whatever.
And I know, but she kind of oversees all like a boss.
She's raised us all upright, hasn't she? Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, Evie, that is your beautiful transition right into events.
Oh, that it. Okay. Powering through. We have our not daily.
Right, pause for 1 second. Evie's about to share like a dozen things. I'm going to just say this. You are not going to do all the things she shares with you. You are going to hear what speaks to you in your business. You're going to attend what is relevant for you in your world. You're going to put in the back burner things that you want to grow into if they aren't now things. And you're not going to go like, oh my gosh, that's so many things. I can't even hear all that. Listen, see what's appropriate. Ask me, ask Jacqueline, ask your coach, ask anyone what the thing is that's most important for you, and then participate where it's relevant. Okay, now go ahead.
Got it. Language of I don't know why I keep on saying language of sales. Language of real estate with SJ, Stephen Jack. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 8:30 via Zoom. Thursdays with BB. Also, this coming Thursday is with our special guest, Nikki Francis. We also have Tech Time with Nick on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right after scripts. Oh, language of real estate. And then we have Ignite still happening 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 1 p.m. That is in person only, but we do record that and you'll get that available on our YouTube channel 2 days after the class is done. Movement Mondays with Eddie and Matt from our Movement family. And then like what Sarah said, we've got Stats hybrid next week. So in person and Zoom. For next week's team meeting. We also have for that day our headshot day with our S&P photographer Aaron. So if you haven't RSVP'd or responded on my post on that one, I still have a few spots available. And then Mega Camp week, we don't have training for the entire week. Coming back to that, we will be wrapping up with Broker Bob's risk management in August. And then like what Sarah said, we're in September after. Thank you.
Thank you, Evie. That is a lot. 2 notes on Mega Camp. We already have like 20 of us going to Austin, which I'm super excited about. It's only a day and a half this time, so it's much shorter, which limits your expenses for hotel and all that jazz. If you are planning on going in person, ticket prices go up Friday. So please don't go like, oh shoot, I missed it. Now I have to pay like whatever it is more. I don't know, so don't ask. I don't know what it is more, but it's more. And if you have gone previously and you... Actually, if you have gone previously and you were thinking about going again, they did just release, and you probably got an email about if you went previously, you get to apply some special discount to your this year ticket. I've never seen that before. Whatever, go use it if you can. All right. I don't have my time notes on my agenda today, so I feel a little lost, but I'm just going to keep going on pace. Our strategic marketing. Yeah.
I'm just going to say the dates because Judy Stevens asked one of the dates. It's the 23rd and 24th of August. So all day Tuesday, half a day Wednesday.
Yep. Thank you. Day and a half. It's not like 4 days. You don't have to miss a whole week. Our strategic marketing spotlight today is Colby Johnson with Ariel Canvas. Although I see an Eric Matthews with Ariel Canvas lit up on the screen. Oh, and I see
Oh,
Colby
there
too.
he is.
Hey,
Yay.
I
how's
see
it going,
lots of
guys?
people. Take it away, guys.
Awesome. So yeah, I am the founder of Ariel Canvas. I started this content marketing agency in the Bay Area. We grew very aggressively in the Bay Area, and about a year ago, we expanded down to San Diego, and we're super excited to be down here. We are everything content related to basically real estate marketing. So photography, video, drone, 3D, 2D floor plans, anything you can think of relating to real estate marketing, we provide. We have a pretty large team too. We're not a small company, which means we're very competitive when it comes to pricing, and even more competitive considering we're in a new territory and we're trying to grow rapidly down here. In this meeting, I have Eric. He's our strategic partner director. He manages all of our large brokerage partnerships. We have done tons of work for KW up north in the North Bay area, and we have a team of around 10 servicing SoCal from LA all the way down to San Diego. I'm going to copy and paste some links in the chat right now. These are links to our website, some really cool new products we have coming out, our listing solution samples, like say if you want to tell the story about a past client, or you want to tell the story about a specific neighborhood you really love to sell in, or you want to tell your story, we can do that for you. I'm sitting here at our office in Little Italy. We're literally minutes away from you guys, where your office is. So without taking up too much time, Eric, go ahead, take it away.
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for having us here. Excited for the partnership with KW Metro. Actually was just working with a Keller Williams agent in Del Mar, Adam Lowe. So shot a Rancho Santa Fe property that came out awesome. So want to share some of those assets with you guys on what we can do. So we basically know how to make creative, captivating content, and that's what we want to do for your listing and for you guys. So our goal with this partnership is to really be your go-team and trusted partner. We really want the photos, video, drone shots, social cuts, virtual twilights, real twilights, virtual tours, Zillow tours. We wanted to not only help market and sell the property now, but to really gain the attention and respect of other colleagues and bring a lot more listings and referrals to your network. So at Ariel Canvas, you have a whole dedicated team backing you, from project managers to creative specialists that are all trained in-house by Colby, that have your back, and your success our success is built on your success. So we're constantly trying to innovate and help create new fun ways to market not only yourself but your listings. So if you guys would like a deeper dive into all the things that we can do with regards to listings and or agent branding videos, feel free to chat your name or get in touch with me directly, Eric at Ariel Canvas, and then I'll also put my number there. Be happy to do a deeper dive and show more examples of what we've done with other Keller Williams agents and how we can work together and what's the right fit for you moving forward. So thank you guys so much for having us, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions or chat them below in the box. Be happy to address those.
Yeah, and just a quick little piece of value add, something that I've been paying very close attention to for the last couple months here. If you guys aren't doing reels on Instagram, I highly recommend this. Currently, there's a competition going on between Instagram and TikTok, and Instagram is prioritizing reels over other content in Instagram. And the reason why is because, and the reason why I feel so strongly about this is because if you do a normal post on Instagram, like say you post some photos, only your followers who are following you on Instagram are going to see that. Now, if you do a reel about yourself or about your property or you interacting with your property, that content is going to be posted in people's search feeds that aren't necessarily following you. So it's a great way to get more exposure. It's a great way to start branding yourself a little bit more. And we have a specific service called the influencer video. And I put a sample and a link in the chat, the influencer reel sample. Check that out. We basically capture you interacting with the property, and we capture some really cool shots of the home in a vertical format that looks amazing on Instagram. And it'll be sure to get you a nice amount of exposure. So yeah. And if you also want to meet with me in person, I'm here full-time in San Diego. I'm always available. Eric's always available. We have a large team here to help you guys out anytime.
That's awesome, Colby. Thank you. So all the links there, everyone will find pricing, services, and all the stuff, but then they'll find the examples as well. So we can look
Yep,
on it.
exactly. Yeah.
You
Check
guys
them out.
take that, look at that influencer reel sample, because, save those bookmarks. That's going to make you stand out and look like, you hired some superhero marketing team to fluff you up and make you, Insta famous. $1 million listing. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
You'll be like the $1 million listing agent out there who you're just doing your job, but you're working with great people and they're making you look good. So thanks you guys for being here. I definitely will look more into that and look forward to working with you.
Yeah. Also, if any of you have a property coming up and you need a recommendation, I've been doing this since 2014. I have a really good sense of what you should be doing in terms of marketing. Don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to help you and give you our expert opinion as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
We're excited to be working together. All right, Broker Bob, you want to take on the coaching highlights?
Thank you, Nikki. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Metro, hey, let's give a shout out for people in the launch and growth that are doing a really good job. On Team Alicia, Monty got another listing signed. Great job. Steve Jordan opened up another escrow with a buyer from an open house. By the way, if you're not out doing open houses, you should be, because we have 3 or 4 coming from the launch program from open houses. 3 or 4 new escrows. Sam got another BRE signed. And then Marcos officially joined Team Alicia in launch. Welcome, Marcos. On Coach Carl, who is back picking up a few extra clients as he's navigated now through MAPS coaching, and he can make some time for us. Matt Thornburg opened a new escrow again from an open house lead. There's number 2 that I'm talking about. And Mr. Valadares had a new listing go live over the weekend. Great job, sir. And then on Team Deborah, Eric Robinson is in escrow on his listing on Streamview Drive. Way to go. And congratulations to all those who participated in Red Town, or Paint the Town Red, this last Saturday. Caitlin Roy, Stephanie Grinnan, Karine Isadoro, Eric Robinson from Team Deborah. Great job, everybody. Here's your broker input for this week. Couple things we're seeing that come across some of the contracts to be aware of. If you are taking the listing in the name of a trust, and you will know that because you pull the property profile before you draft the listing paperwork, you need to make sure that you have a few documents in order and you list the name of the trust and the person that is the responsible person that can sign on behalf of the trust in the signature block. So please, if you don't know how to do that, reach out to me or Mark and we can guide you through it. Because the last thing is you'll have to go through and make some changes on it. And Mark will put it in the initial review. And what we don't want happening is having this come after close of escrow. And primarily why we don't want that happening, if you don't get all the trust documents right and all these important documents put together, seller can come back and say, hey, we didn't give you authority to sell the house. And then we got to unwind the sale. So be aware of that. The other thing is we're seeing some of this right now as the market shifting. And that is some of the counter offers are coming back with buyer to have X portion dollars non-refundable the deposit. Most people are not aware in California that California law has long held that it is not enough to simply label a deposit non-refundable. Real estate sales contracts are also governed by the same rules as other contracts. In order to recover damages, the seller has to prove that he or she has suffered from harm that would cause the buyer's breach. So if you're in a transaction where you see that, where the listing agent will counter back that the buyer has to have a non-refundable deposit, never ever accept that if at all possible. But know that if you get into a situation where the deposit has to be released, don't guide your buyer to release it. Come see me first. That's it. Back to you, Sarah.
I hope you all were listening. There's going to be a quiz at the end. That's some important contract trivia right there. Jacqueline Graham, please provide us with the Director of Growth update.
Why, I'd love to, Sarah Smirlo. So for you guys out there, first of all, everybody that I saw Monday at Ignite, great job. Awesome, awesome. One of the things that I took away afterwards, yes, I see some of you on here as well, but one of the things I took away was after the session was over, there was some great little aha moments that were happening. And what happened for me is I realized that I hadn't come back to you guys as all of our agents and said, what do you guys specifically want to learn? So I threw a little poll in the chat. If you want to direct message me or just respond in the chat, I'm going to hold some really short, like 15-20 minute training, because we do have Ignite on the calendar. There's so much goodness there already that I don't want it to be a long training. But if there is a very specific niche thing that you want me to get into, let me know. I'm happy to host that, but I want it to be something that you guys would find really, really useful. So I put some ideas of things that I've been hearing. For example, tapping into a KW community. For those of you that don't know what those are, we have diversity, equity, inclusion, commercial, land, luxury, new homes, sports entertainment, young professionals. They're all the different networks within Keller Williams. So that's one idea. Command 200 is a follow-up if you've taken my Command 100 class and learned how to get your contacts into Command. And then how to send referrals is something that I've been hearing just out in conversations as well. So please feel free to enter that in the chat, either open or direct message, and we'll get a training on the calendar. Like I said, real short, 15-20 minutes. We'll do it hybrid and we'll get going from there. That's it for me.
So much value. It's just overwhelming. Thanks, Jacqueline. And congrats to everyone who's working their way through Ignite. We had a lot of ahas as we pushed through. We're in session 6 tomorrow, I believe. And there's about a dozen agents who are committed and in. And I'm going to just remind you all that if you are seeing the calendar and you're like, oh, social media lead generating, I'm not good at that yet, or I want to be better at that. If we go back to my session 1 self-talk, or negotiating the deal or something with listings, you are allowed to just go to one. Especially if you're an experienced agent, you are allowed to just go to one. If you're one of the ones who's in the core and working your way through, please go to as many as possible. All of them are ideal, but open invitation to attend what's relevant for you and your business. Okay, so I just want to make sure that's out there. I've heard agents say, oh, I didn't know if I can go to that. You can go to everything unless it says invite only on that, and then you'll be clear that that only happens like once a seldom times. All right. I see so many of my movement friends on here. Who is speaking today?
That would be me. Hello, Metro family. We wanted to take this opportunity to talk with you about 2-for-1 buy downs in this wonderful shifting market that we're all having so much fun in. It's a great option that will, help a buyer purchase a home and save some money on their monthly payment in the first year and the second year, and then the third year rolls up to the regular payment that they would have the remaining term of the loan. I put an example in the chat box so you could see it's roughly almost $600 savings on the first year. So it could really be a great solution to someone who's having a hard time grappling with today's interest rates. And it's great for people who are expecting future income increases, or as well as people who are expecting there to be an opportunity to refinance down the road. They can be in this for 24 months at a lower payment and then take advantage of refinancing their loan if and when that window of opportunity presents itself. So we just wanted to take a moment to share that with you. We've got a lot of great collateral materials that we could provide that you can present to your seller or take to your open houses and present to buyers. And of course, we will always be here to help answer any questions that you have. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Wes. Take a look at that document, you guys, and peek through what's going on there, because this is an evolving constantly market. And the more knowledge you have, that you aren't going to go solve the loan issue, but you are going to know the questions to ask and even that there are options available for you. So stay engaged with these conversations. Nikki, are you here, Nikki? I didn't see you pop up. Evie, is she here?
Yeah, she's here.
Oh, hey,
Sorry, I'm
Nikki.
jumping off another meeting. How you doing,
You're
guys?
fine. Commercial update, friend.
Real quick commercial corner. You're going to hear me talk a lot about this in the next 6 months to help support residential real estate, and that is workforce housing. What does that mean? That means there are some major developments going on in San Diego County. And as those developments go up, meaning businesses moving into San Diego, you have some key opportunities to look at residential housing around that workforce. Again, workforce housing, specifically Mira Mesa, downtown with the new RAD or Research and Development District, and Mission Valley with the new transit development. So keep an eye open. I will be putting those on the Metro internal page. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. Marty, you guys, Marty has a really cool soccer. He is our culture committee update and our culture moment today. Marty's going to share a really cool soccer opportunity with us. Take it away, Marty.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Yeah, so on August 24th, I'm hosting a charity event for Campo Kaizu, which is an organization that benefits young children with cancer and their families. I would love to get the KW family involved. This is my 4th event. I'm aiming to do an event per month. So for this upcoming month, it's on August 24th, which is Mega Camp Week, unfortunately, but it will be at the San Diego Loyal Stadium, which is on USD's campus. Tickets are $20. Campo Kaizu is based in Northern California. It's been around for about 40 years. But unfortunately, in the summer of 2020, the camp burned down. So camp is free of charge for all campers, no matter the circumstance. And then they have a lot of corporate sponsors, a lot of teams that kind of help contribute to them. And I've just felt a personal mission having gone there as a camper and then becoming a counselor to help give back during their time of need right now, when camp is already free for campers. And then not only that, building an entire camp from scratch again at a new location. So I'll put some info in the chat just about the organization itself, my contact info, and the event flyer. Thank you, Bridget, for posting it last week. So yeah, August 24th, San Diego Loyal Stadium. And if you are at Mega Camp and you want to support the cause, September's event will be a San Diego State football game against Toledo at the new Snapdragon Stadium on September 24th. So yeah, just look forward to people coming out for it. I'll be doing an event a month. So if you can't make it this month or upcoming month, stay tuned. There'll be plenty more events to participate with.
What an awesome cause, and what a great share to dive into and let us help give back and grow with, and go out and have fun too. So thanks for that. And we
Thank
are
you.
excited. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Marty. All right. Now, I know we were a little bit quiet during market of the moment update conversation. Is anyone listing properties and wants to pitch them and talk about them?
Yes. Izzy, you want to pitch it?
Go, Em.
I'm gonna let Izzy do it if she's on.
Oh, yes, we have a coming soon, hopefully by this weekend or next. The address, well, I don't have it in front of me. 1 second. It's in Spring Valley. It's 29, I want to say it's 2914 Elm Tree Court.
2924.
2924 Elm Tree Court. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, upper level corner unit, so 1 attached wall. And we are going to list at $440.
Nice. Congratulations. And maybe one of you can put some details in the chat for anyone who was following what you were saying there. Thank you, Izzy and Em. Surreal.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, San Diego Metro. It's so nice to see all of you. 65 people in the meeting today. Wow. I have an active listing. I posted active this last Thursday, so just a few days on. Well, almost a week. Wow. Time really flies. The address is 13101 Lindo Lane. It's in Lakeside, 92040. It is a detached single structure, 3 bedroom, 1 bath. The 3rd bedroom is a garage conversion that was done a long time ago. It's reflected in the tax records. The total square footage is 1,176 square feet for the main structure. It has AC. The flooring was renewed a couple of years ago before the last tenants. It is currently vacant, and it has a new roof from 2 years ago as well. It was a rental income property for a long time, could serve that purpose again, could go on the market literally tomorrow. It's ready to go. It could use some updates on the inside, but quite frankly, it is moving ready. And it has a tremendous lot of 1/4 of an acre. There's a lot of potential right there. It is right by the newly updated park. It is not a city street, so it's very quiet. It's a lovely area of Lakeside. The seller is asking $679,900, and it's quite an opportunity to move into a lovely community. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to make a deal with you guys. Thank you. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Surreal. John Fields, and then we will get to our guest. Go ahead, John.
I just put a 2-on-1 on the market in Golden Hill this morning. It's 2 houses on 1 lot. They're actually 2 separate parcels. It's a pretty unique property. The front house is a Victorian style home, completely gutted inside, major fixer. All aspects of it need to be redone. Plumbing, electrical, it needs absolutely everything. And it's about 1,500 square feet. It could be an absolutely amazing home. It's just needs, like I said, literally everything. And then the back house is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square foot, move-in ready property that's tenant occupied at $2,200 a month through the end of November. And front house, the fixer is completely vacant. So we're selling it with the tenant in place. And we're listed at 1,275. And yeah, that's it. Call me if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, John. If you want to throw a note in the chat as well, that'd be fantastic. Great work with the new listings, you guys. They are going to keep coming. So keep getting out there and making it happen. Okay, I had a moment this week where even though we're talking in the meeting we had planned and the guest that was coming suddenly couldn't make it this week and had to reschedule. And I'm lucky to have a lot of great humans that I connect with. And I reached out to this guy and I said, hey, remember how you said you would pop on and teach for me if I wanted you to? Can you do it tomorrow at 2 o'clock? And he said yes. So be nice to people and, you know, do good out there in the world. Fred is an amazing human. He has been a broker in Southern California since 2004. He's closed over 1,000 units. He now runs a team and their GCI was over $3 million last year. They do a ton of business, and I'm not saying these numbers to go like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, he's so lucky. I'm saying because listen to what he says and take advice and gather the glimpses of knowledge that he will share with us. I literally said to him, Fred, teach anything. I'm going to give you the time. Talk to our agents and just make it happen. So Fred, without further ado, take it away, my dear.
Well, thank you for the lovely introduction. And I'm so grateful to be the backup presenter today. I'm just so excited to be able to be that. But for you and Miss Ashley, I could be the 11th speaker and you call and I'll be there. So for me, that's pretty cool and a good opportunity. Hey, everyone, my name is Fred Set. Some of you guys I know, some of you guys, the bulk I don't know. I've been doing this business since March of 2004. I grew up in Irvine, which you guys know where that is, in OC. Really got my license in 2004 before the market crashed, did real estate here and there, and then got out because I got hit with the market like everybody else did at that point. And I became a full-time agent again, April of 2008. I was a solo agent from 2008 to 2013 with Realty One Group. Commission was great, but really no value, honestly. And I did about 6 to 10 units a year for 5 consecutive years, 5 million in volume and 100 in GCI. And then I joined KW Irvine at that point. The team leader, Dan, at that point was just hit me hard. And I knew that Chris Heller was the operating principal of this market center at that point. And I knew Chris from the Mike Ferry days. So I'm like, I want to build a team. I know I can lead people. I just have no idea how to do it. I'm failing every day and I just need help. So I basically came here January of 2014, and from 2014 to 2018, in those 5 years, all I did was implement 75% of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And we took it from 10 units to 100, 5 million to 40 million, and 10 transactions, 100, and 100 revenue and $1 million. So we grew it 10 times basically in 5 years. And at that point, I was a trainer for Keller Williams International. I was one of the first people that was doing the tech tours, if you guys remember, with Gary Keller and Josh Team at that point. And I was teaching all over SoCal and Canada and US. And but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got a job offer to work at Keller Williams International at end of 2018. I'm like, is this the path for me and my family? And I decided against it. And I ended up going to a training in Washington with a gentleman named Ben Kinney, if you've ever heard of who that is. I was running an expansion team at that point in Southern California. We were in Orange County and we were in LA County. We were in 2 market centers at KW. And then Ben and I had a conversation and said, what would it look like if we partnered together? So July of 2019, I partnered with Ben and I joined the Ben Kinney team, and I was the first expansion agent for Ben and what we now call Place in Southern California. And long story short, we've grown the team and we will hit 3 million in GCI this year, 170, 200 units, and about 125 million in volume. We're currently in 4 offices. We're in the Central in San Fernando Valley in LA. We're in KW Downey, if you know what that is. We're in Irvine. We're moving into Lake Forest, where I'm an investor in. And we recently partnered with a phenomenal agent who I've known for 7 years in San Diego by the name of Melinda. And she's probably on this call. And now we're in the San Diego Metro office, which is awesome. So I just wanted to come on and just kind of share my background for those of you that don't know me. Even though we do about 200 units, I'll do 30 to 36 personally myself. And I do those 30 to 36 units in about 10 hours a week using a showing assistant model that we have at Place. So it's very effective. And then I spend the other 25, 30 hours training the team, coaching the team, helping them with production, and then actively recruiting and training outside as well, because I love to train, I love to teach. So the time that we have together for the next 20 minutes or so, I just wanted to bring some value. We didn't really talk about content, but this is something that I actually wrote it down that I'm going to be teaching a lot in Southern California. It's what are you going to do in a shifting market? Anything that you get from today, here's my wish. I know you guys are busy. I know you're on Zoom. Some of you guys are on your email. Some of you guys on your social media. Some of you are like, who's this jackass? Hey, I get it, right? But here's what I want you to do. I want you to pay attention, okay? I want you to understand what market you're in. Majority of my team has been with me for 2 or 3 years, so all they know is a seller's market. But I've been doing this a long time, so I know what market we're in. I'm really excited. Yet we can't underestimate what's happening at this moment. And I truly believe that at one level or another, all of us have been hit to a certain degree with the shifting market. And I want to give you a couple bullet points of what you can do fairly quickly to get everything back in gear and then set yourself up for an amazing 4th quarter coming up, right? So here's the bullet points that I wrote. You can write them down. Number 1, mindset. Number 2, activity and lead gen pillars. Number 3, conversion and closing. And then number 4, pricing and expectations. And here's a quote that I want you to write down, because I wondered from 2008 to 2013, I'm like, every single 5 consecutive years, I'm doing 6 or 10 units. I'm doing 100 in GC. I'm going to Mike Ferry. I'm going to Tom Ferry. I'm going to every ferry that I can that I know to learn what I can. And why is my business not going anywhere? They talk about a glass ceiling, right? But I felt like I was hitting platinum every single time. And here's what I realized when I joined Keller Williams. I went to my very first class 3 weeks into joining, and it was on Recruit Select, which is now what's called Career Visioning in the Keller Williams world. And there's a gentleman on stage that was speaking, and he said a quote that just gave me a paradigm shift. And he said, write this down, and I'm going to tell you to write it down, right? He said, knowledge that's implemented equals wisdom. Knowledge that's implemented equals wisdom. I'll say it again. Knowledge that's implemented equals wisdom. So I realized all these years I wasn't implementing what I was learning. So what I'd like you to do today is just take one thing. Don't overcomplicate yourself. Don't get too over analytical. Take one thing, because I'm going to say something in the next 15 minutes. I guarantee you I'm going to trigger a nerve, and I'm okay with that. That's my job as a trainer and a coach, right? So whatever I trigger, you have to do something about it if you want authentic growth. If you don't, then go get a job and then send me your book of business, and Melinda and I will gladly give you a referral fee. Okay, cool. So let's talk about mindset. I think you guys would agree and gals would agree that the media is just having a field day right now with our industry. Everything is clickbait media. This is crashing, that's crashing. I'm like, ugh, verbal vomit, right? We cannot stop the social media machine. It's just physically impossible. So if you're having this media go into this ear, if you put no positivity in your mind, that's what your mind's going to be consumed with. You have to counteract that with the positive. So there's a great book, one of my favorite books of all time, called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. In that book, he talks about the compound effect of doing the simple little activities every single day, not seeing a significant difference in the moment of doing the activity, but the compound effect over time can go positive, it could go negative. So what that came down to for personal development and mindset is that he uses the 15-10 method, right? Listen to 15 minutes of a positive audio book podcast per day, and then read 10 pages of a good, positive, non-fictional, great book per day. You can knock out a 300-page book in a month, or you can listen to a ton of podcasts. My favorite podcast right now, it's biased. It's called Win, Make, Give. Win, Make, Give. Some of you may have heard of it. Some of you may have not. It's Ben Kinney's podcast, right? And yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and he's my business partner. Yet the content that him and Chad and Bob, all of them, the hosts, lay out is just truly phenomenal. So I recommend that and any other podcast that you like. So that's the method I would do with your mindset. Just know that you have to take care of your mind every single day. The vast majority of my team fills out a journal that we have done for years. And I'll give you the premise of it. You're writing down the 10 things that you're grateful for every single morning, the 3 things that made you happy in the previous 24 hours, what your net income goal is for the year. So I am earning $1 million in net income in 2022, right? You're writing it down 7 times in a row, and then you're writing down your goals. 10-minute exercise. At minimum, I would do the gratitude of 10 and the 3 things that made you happy. It just puts you in a good state of mind. Number 2, let's talk about, this is where I'm getting real damn passionate right now, activity and lead gen pillars. You have to have, so let's say, for example, you all have a great business. Like John and I had a great conversation in the Market Center the other day. John Fields, Melinda and I have talked the other day. Obviously, we're partners now. Some of you guys have phenomenal databases. You've done this for so long, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So you have a past client and you have a Spear database that consistently spits out 1 to 2 transactions a month, right? Or some 12 transactions a year, whatever it is. That's one pillar, right? And that one pillar, whatever you were doing in the market we were in the past 3 years, and you got, let's say, 13, 14 transactions, that same exact activity you were doing with the same lead pillar of database and Spear, for example, is not going to get you another 13 in the next 12 months. Let's make that really clear. Are there unicorns out there? Yeah, I'm talking about the masses, right? After 10,000 agents I've coached and I've trained, I've picked up a little tips, and I've picked up some wherewithal to know where this is going. So if you had 1 lead pillar, past client database, you have to add a second one. If you had 2, you have to add a third one, right? So in our world, at Place and the Fred Set group, some of the main lead pillars that we love is we love open houses. So we want our agents to do 2 open houses per week using our scripts, our dialogues, our conversion, our technology. We have Brevity because we own it, right? Number 2, we're big on database and Spear. We want to make sure that we're hitting our Spear and having a nice touch program and past clients in Spear all the time. And then number 3, we're big on prospecting. We do a ton of circle prospecting on our team in Southern California. And we do an average of 750 dials per week per agent, not contacts, dials. So 150 dials a day on a triple line dial or a Mojo would take you 60 to 90 minutes to do. Okay. So those are our 3 pillars. So whatever pillar you do, you have to do another 1 or 2 additional pillars to still do the same consistent business. That's what I want to get clear today. Number 2, though, let's say you're already doing 2 or 3 solid pillars, and let's say you're doing 1 open house a week, and you're doing, let's say, 10 calls to your database a day. Let's say you're cold calling, 50 people a day. Let's say that's been your standard for a year or 2. Double, at minimum, double the actual activity you've been doing for each of those lead pillars. And double it in order to still do those 13 units. All right, you got to think about it. In Southern California, the demand is decreased by over 60, 65% because of rates. Inventory is increased by 60 to 80% in San Diego, Orange County, LA County in the past 4 months alone. So the market's softening, which is good. We need that because it's healthy, right? But that means you have to put in extra work to do the same business. And then number 3 is conversion and closing. You have to understand you either have a activity problem right now or you have a conversion problem. If you're making a ton of calls and doing a ton of activity and really working hard, which I commend us as independent contractors doing in a fierce competitive market in SoCal, you're doing the activity, but you're not getting the results, then you have a conversion problem and a skill problem. So at minimum, you should be role playing every single day, even if you're not a cold caller, but you're going to still call your database. You're going to ask for referrals. You're still going to convert people over the phone. So you have to be some level of skilled phone salesperson and then be really skilled face-to-face in a buyer consultation or a listing presentation to then convert thereafter. So skills are required. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? So finding out what skills you have to work on. So there's two things I would want you to do. I would have you do some sort of consistent daily role play over the phone with a fellow agent at the market center on whatever close or script that you'd want to do. Number two, I'd want you to practice your listing presentation and buyer consultation on a weekly basis or every other week basis. We have to get really good. The reason I'm so stoked about this market is because, with all due respect to anybody on this call or agents in general, but I'm a pretty blunt and direct guy, you can get a for sale sign in the past 2020 and 2021. You put that bad boy in the ground in Carlsbad and boom, it's sold. Those skills are required, right? Really, it's just the market sells a home. This market, is that happening right now? No, right? So skills are required to set the expectation in the presentation, price it properly, do the price reductions, negotiate, right? Getting an escrow is one like hallelujah, right? And then the second thing is, let me retain my transaction with these crazy buyers that want these requests for repairs and stuff like that. That's another skill set you need. So these are skills that you have to work on. The skills I'm talking about is conversion and closing. That's what I would focus on. And then number four is pricing and expectations. Really. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we're not in the market that we were in 2020 and 2021. If you'd like to sell your home at the right price and the right amount of time, you have to be in a position where you're going to price it right to begin with and listen to what the market tells us it's worth. And if we're on the market for 28 days at a good price, and I brought you 30, 40, 50 qualified buyers through showings and open houses, and we have no offers, it's one of three reasons. It's price, condition, or location. I can't take your property and put it on a 40,000 square foot lot with an amazing pool, so we can't do anything about that. We're not going to change the condition of your home and put 100 grand in rehab because we're not going to get the ROI. Number three, the only option we have is to adjust the price so we can be a relevant listing again, not become sale, and then get the right buyer and move on from there. That's a sample script that I give them when I'm taking a listing at the right price, and I understand it, right? But I set expectations in the listing presentation on that role play. For sure I did. Am I shooting for pricing the listing correctly? Of course I am, because you and I both know in today's market, if we don't price the properly in the right range of what it should be, it's not going to move. It's not going to move. So we have to be in that position to have that dialogue. So today we talked about mindset, activity, lead gen, and pillars. We talked about conversion and closing. We talked about pricing and expectations. And we did that in 11 minutes. Normally I take 60 minutes to break it down, but I wanted to go quickly like I always do, and then leave 11, 12, 14 minutes for just absolute open Q&A that I'd love to answer for you guys and gals.
That was amazing. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions brewing out there. So I would encourage people to please don't be shy and ask the questions that you're trying to think about private messaging or writing down for later.
Put your hand up, go to the bottom right-hand corner. It says reactions, press it, then press raise hand. Because if you're thinking a question, somebody else is probably thinking the question. So if you don't ask your question, you're really doing a disjustice to your fellow agent in the office. So ask the question, please. And I'd love to answer it for you. Nothing's off limits here. I'm an open book.
Well, they're thinking, I'll say, oh, was someone to talk?
No?
Okay.
Cool.
Well, they're thinking, I'll say, I was writing furiously for mindset and missed part of the lead gen pillars. So okay. You said open house, database. You want to go through that a little bit again?
Yeah. So can I share my screen?
Yeah. Well, Evie will be in charge of but I said
yeah. The answer is yes.
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. So let me go. I'm going to show you one thing. Hold on. So it'll make more sense in a visual. I want you to copy this. Okay. So this is our lead gen model. So what we do is we focus on the left-hand side. And if it was my preference and I just coached you the rest of our lives and I never worked with you or partnered with you or anything like that, I would want you to follow this. Keep it simple, stupid, right? I'm not a very smart guy. I just know that I'll outwork anybody. And I have massive grit, right? So on the left-hand side, that's what I was talking about. So Spear, you want to be in a situation, not Spear, past clients, friends, and things like that. You want to be in a dynamic, right, where you're consistently communicating with your database. I recommend, we might have 200, 300, 400, 500 people, but here's what the coaching I've done to my team recently in the past 6 or 12 months. Take all your database and create a VIP list, very important people. These are people that you know, like, and trust, will refer you, past clients, whatever, but I wouldn't have more than 100 people on that list, max, right? And those 100 people, you're calling them once a month. Okay, you're emailing them some sort of newsletter once a month. Ideally, you're having a client event once a year. Okay, you're doing some sort of social media around them that they can see every week or every other week or whatever you'd like as well. Okay, and then in our world, we like to send them a postcard. I think I have like a postcard here. Maybe I'll show you. You can see it. There it is. It's called an evidence of success. We got a little just listed, a little just sold, a little click on here, home valuation, our team, stuff like that. And they get mailed once a month, these people, because they get our emails, but emails are going to spam, right? But mail is nice because the local neighborhood farmer is mailing them or door hanging them, but I'm their friend, I'm their realtor. I want them to get that same piece. So I get another triple effect. So I email them, I mail them, and I call them a monthly. That's 36 touches already right there. And then you can add client events and pumpkin events and all that stuff, and it adds on top. So having a touch program that you can scale and be consistent in, that's really important with your Spear. Next is open houses. Open houses, and I want you to write down my favorite script. I'll give it to you right now. Ideally, the number is to do 2 open houses per week. If you want to do a weekday open house, that's fine. Keep the weekday open house to probably minimum 2 hours, like a 3 to a 5 or a 4 to a 6 on a weekday, so people are getting home and they see their signs and neighbors want to come in and see what's going on. And then number 2, on weekends, a minimum of 3 hours, a 1 to 4, a 10 to 1, a 12 to 3, whatever it is. And when you do these open houses, you want to have at least 8 to 12 signs. You can door knock or circle prospect before that, which is what we recommend. People walk in though, you have to be proactive. Wouldn't you want to love to know, is a seller walking in the door, or is there a buyer walking in my door? So Ben's open house script is literally the following. People come into my open houses for one of 2 reasons. Number 1, they're a buyer out shopping for homes, or number 2, they're a homeowner in the area curious what their home is worth. Which one are you? This is before they even walk in and allowed to see the house. So immediately I want to decipher, is this a buyer or is this a seller, right? So we do that at every open house. Then number 3 is prospecting. Prospecting to us is calling for sell by owners, expired listings, circle prospecting. And a simple circle prospecting script, let's say some of you guys listed some amazing properties I saw on the chat channel. So there's beautiful listings coming on, right? Ring, ring. Hey, is this John? Hey, John, my name is Fred with Keller Williams in San Diego Metro. I just listed this amazing property in Spring Valley. It's 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, coming on the market at $699.9 at an aggressive price. And I promised the homeowner that I would call all the neighbors like yourself to see if you knew anyone thinking about making a move into the community. Oh, you don't? Great. Do you know anybody thinking about selling a home in the community? Oh, you don't? Have you thought about selling your home in the next 1, 3, or 5 years? That's the body of a circle prospecting script. It's just the intro changes, right? Because I'm doing a just listed call. And we do prospecting. So we do 150 of those types of dials a day, ideally. And then on the right-hand side, we also do online leads. So online leads for us are inbound buyer leads. We call them Bribity leads because we're generating on Facebook, on Google PPC. We do a lot of home valuation leads. And then obviously, because of my reputation and our team, we get a ton of agent referrals all across the nation that come into Southern California to us. So those, Sarah, are the basic lead pillars. Figured the visual will be better than the verbal, right?
The visual is fantastic and the verbal is even better. So
Yeah.
I'm going to hope that in that amazing lesson, there have now sprung a question or 2 from the crowd at hand.
Cool. Well, while somebody raises their hand or unmutes, I'm gonna give you guys a couple things, if you don't mind, that I haven't already given you. We do a lot of Zoom trainings. So moving forward, we'll make sure that Metro gets the invites to our Zoom trainings. We have the next one coming up September 8th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's a Thursday, I believe, and I'm doing best practices to have the best 4th quarter ever in a shifting market. It's an hour Zoom, free, no charge content. I have all my KW market centers and all my friends normally join, and they always get value from it. And the second thing I'm going to tell you is we're doing part of what I do with training is I wanted to do a mastermind event for a long time. And COVID kind of derailed that and things like that. But we're having our first official mastermind October 19th in Irvine. So it's at the Irvine Spectrum, not that far from you guys, right? The DoubleTree. I'll post something here if you don't mind. And I'll tell you what this is, because this is an event that you may not want to miss. dollarmasterminds.com. So that's the link to it. And it's an all-day event, 9 a.m. to 4. I'm going to have the headline speakers that I have is I have Chris Heller. Everybody know who Chris Heller is? So obviously Chris Heller, the home seller and previous CEO of Keller Williams and now CRO of Ojo. He's coming down. Ashley Nina's coming down to do a 30-minute keynote on health. Ashley and I have the same coach in Nina Heller, which is awesome. So she's coming down to do a keynote. I have Chris Stewart, who is the current president of Place and was the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services International. He's coming down. And I have Debbie DeGroat, Forward Coaching, coming down, and I have $1 billion worth of active agents in Southern California that are going to come talk on various panels on listings and client events and referrals. My goal is not to make any money from this event. It's literally to just do it. So the tickets are super cheap. Any profit we may make, it's all going to charity. Goal is just to cover the event because it's a pretty penny to be able to do it. So it's $99 a person. Lunch is served, coffee and drinks and everything. It's 9 to 4. We got some giveaways we're going to give. So if you're able to make it, you would get 100 times more value than you got in 11 minutes with me, with people that are way more talented than I am. So it's a phenomenal event. And I'm inviting all my buddies in LA, San Diego, OC, Inland Empire. And I only have 150 tickets, and I think we're already 20% sold. And I only did one Facebook post a couple days ago. So if you're interested, it's there. And that's that.
That's awesome.
Was today helpful at least? Man, you guys are like zoned out. I don't know what it is. I know it's hot as a desert out there right now. I went outside in Irvine, man. I fell on the floor. I was like, what is this? I'm suited and booted today. I should be in a tank top, flip-flops, and a hat with my kids. What am I doing here?
I would imagine, based on knowing our people, that they all went into complete overwhelm and knowledge explosion internally based on the bombs we just dropped on people.
Yeah. I hope so. That's my. I just had a short amount of time, so I apologize for talking fast. That's just how I am, and hopefully you can watch the recording if it was too fast for you. Yes.
Fred, yeah, I'm just sitting here like completely overwhelmed isn't the word, but like enlightened about how much you just shared with us. That was amazing. And the one question I had was, our training's open? And then while I was about to ask that in the chat while I was typing it, you answered it. So that's my thank you for the training information. And thank you so much for talking to all of us. That was amazing.
Oh, my pleasure. It's training is a passion of mine. I mean, we do well at the Fred Said Group. I still sell, a ton of homes, and the team does well. So my income is covered, thank God. I've worked my butt off to get to that point. And training is something that it's a God-gifted talent. I've worked hard at it, and I truly love like randomly bumping into somebody at family reunion or a real estate event. Like, man, I can't believe that training you did the other day got me $100,000 in GCI the past 6 months. I'm like, damn, that's so good. So definitely, I'll get you invited to all the Zooms that we're going to do that are free. This one I have to charge, unfortunately, because it's going to cost me $20,000 to run the event. So I got to get the cost covered, and I want to make a profit so I can give it to a homeless shelter that I love in Orange County, if that's a possibility, which would be great. And I'll be in the market center with you guys from time to time, and with Melinda and I. If you have questions about what we do, you're more than welcome to ask Melinda. She's a phenomenal talent and agent, and we have others that we potentially are going to bring into the market center as part of our team. So consider me a fellow agent in the market center. And if you need anything, let me know. And I'm an open book. If you need anything, my cell phone is 949-274-3733. Once again, my cell is 949-274-3733. If you text me at the latest, I'll get back to you within 24 hours. If it's a hectic day, I got to handle priorities as much as you do on your deals, but I promise I'll get back to you and answer any of your questions. That's my word. So.
Thank you so much, Fred. This was phenomenal, and it is being recorded. So all of
nice.
And we will get to watch it back after this, as I'll be showing my whole team. So thank you.
I'm not surprised it's not. You have a phenomenal talent in Evie, so that's definitely should be expected.
Thank you so much for stepping up today. I did put in the chat, but I want to double down for you. Obviously, you were when we met and you said I'll come teach anytime. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I didn't expect to ask the questions at last minute, but you know, being leveraged and planned as you are, you could hop in and drop amazing talent bombs on us today. So thank you
Yeah.
for that. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, and we are excited to be working together.
Likewise. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Fred. You guys
Stay cool. Hit the
go
phones.
forth and prosper.